itch. And let me tell you something. I am just so happy. Halle and Daryl are so happy. He's been so sweet and everything. I fuck with Daryl. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all don't see like behind the scenes. Like, I love them. I really do. Halle came out tonight. I got to see Sis and she brought Daryl and I was really happy to see them. They look so happy. And I'm just so happy that they came. They were so sweet. And I'm just completely grateful.
One of my favorite Beyonce moments would have to be when we were at the Wearable Art Gala. And Miss Tina asked us to surprise her and sing I Was Here. So I remember walking out and she had like this like surprised look on her face. And when we finished the song, she was crying. And I don't know, it was just really special.
I know you're lying. I always wanted, like, oh my God, I wanted this bag so much. I've seen it in Japan, that store. I just want to know what, how do I word this properly? What somebody else's kids got to do with y'all is what I want to know. I have a confession to make. I've been following for a very long time. I'm such a fan. I'm actually really nervous right now.
I just got cheated on, so I think that's why I wrote the... Who's calling me?
Wait, you want to take it? Who is it?
So...
Wait, so it has to be someone good when you give me a look like that. We did not even be coy about it. Like,
didn't even try to hide it.
Yeah, like you're begging me to ask. Like with that look, you're begging me to pry.
You know, just like certain people who call you and it just puts a smile on your face.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, I got cheated on, right?
Wait, is it a guy?
Is it?
They called you?
I don't know.
Not the other guy.
It's a human being.
Okay. Well, sorry to gender them. Is it, well, so, okay, keep going.
So you got cheated on.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about DDG? You like him for your sister? What's good? Because I be like protective over my sister.
Listen,
like,
I am
like,
so protective.
Nigga, you ain't gonna do shit.
I am so protective of my sister.
Yeah.
But
as
seeing how happy she is, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I told him I had my eye on him. I'm killing you.
As you should.
I told him that. He knows.
Don't leave evidence, though.
You know. But yeah, she's happy. She's happy. So as long as she's happy, I'm happy.
Well, I just kind of ask for her advice and guidance because, you know, she's been through this, being in the spotlight at a young age and everything. But she's just been so supportive of me and my sister and just, she's like that proud auntie that claps for you and you're doing great stuff. So I just love her and I'm really grateful for her.
When I'm hurt, I talk much. It's like a different side of me comes out when I'm really hurt. If I'm comfortable enough with you, you will see that. If not, then I will just keep it tucked internally. But I really like how it's saying, I wish you were just honest with me. Like, we could have done this together. No, not really. I'm very territorial. I would not be in a polygamous relationship. But it's like, you could have come to me about this. You could have been honest. We could have gone through this together. Like, we had big life plans. We had things that we were going to go through together. But it's like, you know what? You want to take advantage of that. I might as well go hit somebody else up.
We do not exist in any other instant. Here in this dimension, you and I are meant to be. I have waited lifetimes to find you. Now that you're here, I can remind you of the things you've been dreaming times two. I promise you. If you just give me 24, man, all I need is 24 hours. I promise you want plenty more. You'll probably be waiting forever. So how does it sound as on the ground, giving you my love, my love, my love, my love, my love, my love. There's no place quite like here. There's no better time than now. You gotta stay ready. There's no place quite like here.
Chloe Bailey never planned to spark so much conversation, but the moment she broke down after watching Sinners, everything shifted. It didn't feel like a quick emotional reaction. It felt heavier, like she finally let out something she'd been trying to hide for a long time. She talked about how a person can give their full talent, work hard, stay kind, and still feel blocked by something they can't control. The way she expressed it didn't sound like she was talking about a character in a movie. It sounded like someone describing a struggle they've lived with quietly. When people replayed the clip, they could tell she wasn't only talking about the film. She was pointing towards something real, something she deals with daily in the music world. It was almost as if she accidentally opened a door that was never supposed to be opened, and behind it was a reality that looked nothing like what fans see on the surface. At the time, people didn't realize it, but this was the first sign that Chloe was finally ready to speak on the issues that had been holding her back. What made this moment even more powerful is that the signs were always there. They started long before Chloe mentioned anything. Everything traces back to the day she and Halle signed with Beyonce's label. On the outside, it looked like a dream deal. Being discovered by someone that famous should have changed their lives instantly. Fans assumed they had made it, but when the reported contract numbers leaked online, the excitement turned into confusion. The deal was said to be around $1 million for 6 full albums. At first, the amount sounded impressive, but when people broke down the math, the picture changed. 6 albums at that price equals roughly $166,000 per album. Then you cut that in half because the sisters are a duo. In the end, each of them was supposedly earning what many new artists in Hollywood would call extremely low pay for that amount of work. It didn't take long for people in the industry to start talking. What looked like a blessing to fans seemed more like a trap behind the scenes. It was a deal that tied them down for years while giving the label complete power over their timing, their image, and their releases. And once that paperwork was signed, everything that happened later started to make sense. The slow rollouts, the missing promotion, the sudden changes that didn't match their talent, fans eventually began linking all of it together. That first contract wasn't just another deal. It became the root of the problems Chloe hints at today. And it paved the way for every confusing choice that followed. But that was only the beginning. The deeper people looked into Parkwood's history, the clearer the picture became. As soon as fans began digging into the past, they realized Chloe wasn't the only artist who seemed to slip through the system. Parkwood's track record raised questions the moment people laid out the timeline. Whenever a new artist signed, the excitement was high. There were big announcements, public support, praise from Beyonce herself. But after that early meeting, everything usually went silent. Sophie Beam went through this. She arrived with a ton of buzz. Beyonce backed her publicly, which should have been a huge advantage. But instead of moving forward with music, Sophie stayed stuck in a developmental deal for 2 years. Then she was dropped quietly, without an album, without a proper rollout, without anything that matched her potential. Ingrid Burley's situation looked even more unfair. She actually finished an entire album under the label. It was ready to be released, but Parkwood held it until her contract was about to expire, then shelved the project completely. It never saw the light of day. Seeing what happened to Sophie and Ingrid made people go back to Chloe's path with a different mindset. Her delays, the way her promotion kept disappearing, and the strange release choices all seemed to follow that same pattern. Meanwhile, the only artists who consistently thrived under Parkwood were Beyonce and the Carters, which is basically Beyonce and Jay-Z. That contrast made people wonder why someone as talented as Chloe wasn't getting the support she deserved. Why did it feel like she was always struggling to move forward while her sister's path seemed smoother and more organized? When fans compared the timelines, it didn't look like Chloe was simply being overlooked. It felt like she was being placed in the same category as the other Parkwood artists who never got the push they needed. Once people recognized that pattern, they realized something deeper might be happening behind closed doors. The first clear sign appeared when Chloe asked her audience to vote for her next single. She posted a poll. The fans chose For the Night by a large margin, and everyone expected her to follow their choice. But she suddenly released Surprise instead. The switch confused people immediately. It didn't feel like a creative decision. It felt like someone else stepped in at the last minute. When Chloe went live to explain, she said a single line that caught everyone's attention. "When the Queen speaks, the Queen speaks." Her voice didn't carry excitement. It didn't sound like something she chose with confidence. It sounded like someone who had to obey instructions. That moment changed how people viewed the situation. Fans started asking how much control she truly had over her own music. After that, every unusual release choice looked different. Every delay, every odd rollout, every missing promotion started to seem intentional. It didn't look like mismanagement anymore. It looked like someone was directing her path in a way that didn't match her instincts or what her audience wanted. This led fans toward a question nobody wanted to say directly. Who was really making the decisions for Chloe Bailey? Once, that single situation became a talking point. Fans began connecting the dots. Every time Chloe tried to push forward, something pulled her back. Release dates moved without warning. Promotion vanished without explanation. Songs that should have been hits didn't get proper energy behind them. And when she opened up during that emotional moment about how Sinners affected her, people realized she wasn't just reacting to a film. She was describing the frustration of working hard, staying focused, staying positive, and still running into the same wall again and again. It sounded like someone battling something she couldn't talk about openly. People saw her reaction as a quiet message about the kind of pressure she dealt with inside the industry. Not the shiny side that gets shown to the world, but the side you only understand if you've lived through it. The pressure to change yourself. The pressure to keep quiet. The pressure to agree with things you don't believe in just to keep your place. Chloe never mentioned anyone specifically, but the sound of her voice made it clear enough. She spoke like someone who had been pushed into corners, held back, and expected to adjust until she decided she wasn't going to follow those rules anymore. That's when conversations about her sister started picking up. Fans noticed how different their careers looked, and the difference was too sharp to ignore. One sister struggling to even get a fair shot, the other suddenly everywhere. Premieres, magazine covers, trending videos, and endless praise. It didn't feel random. It looked intentional. Almost like two separate paths were created behind closed doors, and everyone watching could see the split happening in real time. Chloe's calmness was starting to slip, and the more she shared, the clearer it became that her struggle wasn't only about songs or rollouts, it was about the cost she refused to pay, while her sister might have taken a completely different route. As people paid more attention to Chloe's frustrations, Halle's sudden rise looked unusually well-timed. She wasn't just having a streak of luck, she was getting major wins one after another. Big film contracts, worldwide interviews, appearances at huge events, and support from every corner of the industry. It almost looked like someone flipped a switch the moment they split their careers. Fans couldn't avoid comparing how smoothly things ran for Halle, while Chloe kept facing setbacks. Online discussions started suggesting that Halle might have accepted the usual expectations of the industry, expectations Chloe chose not to follow. People pointed out how quickly Halle's projects moved forward, how easily she got new opportunities, and how rarely she faced obstacles. Then her relationship with DDG became part of the conversation. Rumors claimed the relationship wasn't natural at all, but something built around attention and branding. DDG had enough online reach to push Halle's name into every trending topic, and when they confirmed they were together, her visibility skyrocketed. The part that shocked people the most was the idea that DDG himself had no idea he was being used for publicity until much later. When their breakup drama began to hit the internet, fans started connecting the signs one by one. Halle's career kept rising without pause, while Chloe kept running into barriers no matter how hard she worked. The difference felt too extreme to ignore. There was never open conflict between the sisters, at least not publicly, but their completely different career paths made people wonder if something deeper was going on behind the scenes. One sister getting every green light, the other struggling just to move forward. One praised nonstop, the other constantly questioned and overlooked. For many observers, it stopped feeling accidental. It felt like two very different deals were made. One Chloe couldn't accept, and one Halle may have agreed to without hesitation. Just when it seems like the audience has the full picture, the story takes a sudden turn. These moments always raise the energy in a video because people love when the narrative unexpectedly shifts. Sometimes the twist comes from a leaked message, a behind-the-scenes clip, a comment from someone connected to the situation, or even a small action that blows up overnight. Platforms like X, Twitter, and TikTok spread updates at a speed nobody can keep up with. In 2023 alone, over 130 million posts were shared around celebrity scandals on X, showing just how quickly a single detail can flip an entire story. This kind of twist resets the audience's curiosity. Someone who looked guilty might suddenly seem innocent. Someone who stayed silent might drop new information. Or an unrelated event might pull the story in a direction nobody imagined. These shifts keep viewers hooked because they remind everyone that the situation might not be as clear as it seemed a minute earlier. In your script, paint this change in a natural way. Show how fans reacted online, how commentary channels rushed to break down the newest angle, and how the rumor cycle twisted overnight. Let the audience feel that familiar moment of, hold on, what is happening now, without making it sound unrealistic. Now that Chloe is finally speaking up, people are looking at Beyonce's entire organization differently. Fans are starting to compare the two sisters with fresh eyes. One seems to glide through the industry as if every door is opened for her. The other works endlessly, yet still deals with delays, pushback, and a lack of recognition that doesn't match her talent. The comparison raises hard questions. Why is one career moving forward so easily while the other is full of obstacles? And when Chloe shares hints about contracts, blocked chances, and a system that rewards people who follow certain expectations, fans can't help wondering if she just revealed something nobody paid attention to before. The story doesn't give clear answers. Instead, it leaves a shadow that makes viewers rethink what they've been seeing. As Chloe becomes more honest, people are left with theories, unanswered questions, and a growing awareness that the industry may be far more complicated than it looks. And with that uncertainty, curiosity grows. Suddenly, the way people look at Parkwood, Beyonce, and the rise of both sisters is completely different.